Well, we're gonna go from glammy to gloomy. In 1988, Poison released Open Up and Say Ah. But there was another album released that same year, and it was a little bit different.
Hear them calling, hear them calling me.
This is America. Everybody has a Metallica story. What was your first Metallica album? For me, it was And Justice for All. Now, don't get me wrong. I was still on a steady diet of pop music during this time as well. I was listening to Whitney Houston, Madonna, Michael Jackson, just like everybody else. But that made sense with glam music, right? With glam metal, hair metal, that made sense. But then one day, I saw this other video. What is happening? What's going on? What is this? Cheer up, man. So 1 minute I'm watching colorful, fun, vibrant, exciting videos. People are jumping and spinning, having a good time. It's awesome. And then, not that at all. The total opposite. I went from glam to gloom really quickly, but like many of you out there, I'm sure, I was completely mesmerized by this video. I was just captivated, watching every second. And this storyline is very depressing. It's very sad. It's about a guy blown to smithereens, no arms, no legs, can't speak. You know, it's like terrifying. But I just cannot look away from this video. You know, it builds and builds. It goes from so quiet you can barely hear it into extreme heaviness. This was Metallica's first video. I mean, I think that video just changed everything. So the only logical thing for me to do at that point was to go to, like, you know, Kmart, I think, probably, and buy the cassette tape for And Justice for All. Oh man, listen to that. Listen to that tape sound. Don't you love it? Oh. So I put the tape in, I hit play, and you hear this thing coming from the darkness, and it's just coming from the blackened darkness. This song emerges, and then it builds into and I think that was a great first experience of Metallica because I had never heard Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. I had no background on this band whatsoever. I knew nothing about them. Now again, during this time, I'm listening to glam metal bands. I'm listening now to Metallica. I don't care. I like it all. I think it's all fine. Now in hindsight, I realized that thrash metal guys hated glam metal guys. They were not friends. But when you're 9 years old, you don't care. Later on, I learned about all that stuff. So I got Metallica and Justice for All. I'm loving it. And that leads me to find other bands like Megadeth over here. They had some history with Metallica, I think. Then later on, I found out about Anthrax, but that was really with Public Enemy, so I'll talk about that later. And Slayer, man, I was late to the game on Slayer. But why? Because they weren't on MTV a lot. The only video I remember seeing of them on MTV was Seasons in the Abyss. And that was probably during Headbangers Ball, so that's not much. Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the comments. They've been amazing. Please continue to do so. What was the first time you got this album? What was the first time you watched the one video? I want to hear all those stories. And the next episode, I'm going to take it to a new level.